Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded. I've been busy today. I say things like this every episode. It's like, I've been busy today, I've got a lot to do today, I've done nothing today. I always start by telling you what I've been doing. Well, over at the tree farm, I have been doing some work. I came back online to find the tree farm full up of stuff. Things that could not be, and completely out of dirt. It was out of dirt and full of things, and the things weren't going anywhere. The chest to the farm was basically full of apples. So I've got too many apples over at the greenhouse at the minute. And the dome, the tree dome, is was ground to a halt, basically. Right? So what I've done is I've brought the Cactus Farm stuff over here. So we've got a Cactus Farm, which is a progressive automation Cactus Farm, yeah, using RF energy and a unbreakable, writable paper mattock, yeah, to constantly keep working, pulling cactus out. Cactus gets pulled out. Cactus gets put into barrels. All these very, very many barrels, and then on the opposite side, the barrels get taken out of the barrels. The dirt comes out and goes to the retrieval node there. The retrieval node is set to call only dirt. So it's going to pull any dirt that does get created out of these barrels and into that one barrel there. So I've got 5 stacks and 56 at the minute made up of that just from the Cactus Farm. Also, excess cactus comes over here. So if excess cactus does become a thing, then excess cactus will come down here, and then the cactus gets pulled out and get put back into the system. So cactus doesn't have anywhere to go all the time. It's always going somewhere. But eventually I may end up with a cactus supply down here, right? But it's meant to be just straight cactus to dirt. That's the idea of that farm. I could do another cactus farm somewhere else for another use of cactus, maybe on this side. Easy enough anyway. And then, yeah, the dirt just basically gets put into the farm from there, right? Just put in the farm, keeping the farm topped up with dirt. So there's that, right? And I've got a supply of dirt when I need dirt blocks. So the output hasn't changed yet, but I'm thinking of changing the output to different wood types. But still, we'll ignore that for now. The other 2 outputs were that we had saplings and apples. Now, the apple oak saplings I couldn't use to make compost to make dirt. I don't know why. Maybe it's an NBT data thing, but forestry apple oak saplings could not be used to make dirt. Otherwise, I'd have done it that way instead of bringing the Cactus Farm. Well, I'd have probably still brought the Cactus Farm over, to be fair. But I probably would have tried to use the apples to make that instead. The apples to make water and the saplings to make that instead. Now, what I've got going on here is very simple. There's a transfer node putting all of those materials into oak crucibles. And those oak crucibles are then making water. And as the water's made, I'm just kind of leaving it there until I get some dust to put in it, right? On this side, as the farm outputs sand, I decided to take the sand from the farm, the output, the waste product, use it and hammer it down, and then once it's hammered down into dust, take it down and put the dust through into the barrels, and that then, well, that basically pushes dust into any barrel that can accept it, and then the retrieval node at this end here will take the clay out of the barrels, meaning that I've got quite a large supply of clay being made for me, instead of me having to do it all by my hands. Instead of doing it by hand, I've now got it automated, because I seem to be using a lot of clay. Not only did I use a lot of clay over here, but I didn't mind that so much because I had an infinite water sort of source set up in the previous factory, and I was just standing there with my finger on the trigger, basically just putting dust into the water and just pulling out the clay. It wasn't too hard, right? But now I've got it all automated over there. So I've got automated dirt, automated clay, and automated wood over there in the dome now, which is very good. The thing that we haven't got yet automated, we still don't have the arc furnace working So instead, I've got an immersive engineering blast furnace over here, right? Which didn't take too much making and sorting out, but does require a fair amount of iron and charcoal. So the farm over there is producing the wood, then I turn it into charcoal and bring that over here, and the sieves over here produce the iron and blah blah blah. That's nice and simple and easy. And then there's this extra thing. Now, I'm making bits and pieces towards the advanced generators. The advanced, what's it called? Oh man, I've got it probably titled in my episode, but of course I don't know what it is. Was it Advanced Rocketry? That's it. Advanced Rocketry. Excuse me for trying to remember everything that I've got to do today. Advanced Rocketry, I've just been working through the processing, and it does require quite a lot of steel. Yeah? And rolled steel and flattened steel and all sorts of other kinds of steel. But I did find that this compactor from Thermal Expansion does a very good job of just like take my steel. It doesn't actually take the steel until later. Like, it just has a kind of an issue with making ghost blocks at the minute. But it does actually just make one. It works properly, but it has a kind of a graphical glitch with the blocks, right? I can place one in there, and then what's going on? Where's that? I put all 14 in. Oh no, I know, and it does it like that, right? So that's not the best as of yet, but it is. I mean, it's quicker than waiting for something else, especially with steel, right? I can hammer out iron plates, but steel plates I have to use a compactor, and this is a cheap compactor, really. A cheap and easy compactor. So we've got those going in there, right? And I'm now making a rolling machine, which on the surface I don't really need because it literally does what I've just shown you I'm doing behind there. So it's not doing anything special. That is that. Yes. And that is that. Oh, wow. Okay. A lapis one. Nice. And then that's the rolling machine. Awesome. So, yeah, I don't really know why I want to build all these things when there's other things in the pack that are available, but the quest is telling me to, so I am. And I'm gaining extra redstone and lapis for all of my good work. Oh, yes. And maybe a good thing. I don't know. And so the moving worlds, I'm slowly working through. I've made the lathe, I've made the keep rolling. Now these shouldn't take too much more, but as I've been going through, I've been making sure to use the same things, the crafting task, make sure I complete it before I move on to the next crafting task, just because there's a couple of things on these that are different. I don't really know what this crystallizer does. Making silicon baubles is needed for wafers. This will be needed when we'll need a cutting machine. Okay, so I need a crystallizer and a cutting machine and all that kind of stuff, and it possibly does the same thing as this recipe. Well, sag mill recipe is that. I guess there must be another thing that I can do with this, uses wise. Arc furnace, inscriber, alloy smelter, slicer, assembler. No. So inscribers in that. Arc furnace, it turns it into electric steel, alloy smelter. Okay, so it seems like it might be a different kind of silicon. Okay, we've dealt with silicons that are different before. So I need a crystallizer, which is that. And how many things am I short? Quite a few little things. Okay, that is all right. I did a stack of copper and a stack of gold because of these recipes. Just harvested them down, a stack of copper and a stack of gold, just to make sure that we had what we needed here. Glass pane. I'll make a glass pane then. Okay. I didn't realise I'd run out. That is that. 1, 2. Oh man, really, I'm down to making a redstone torch for myself now. Well, let's make a stack. Also, and then make another one of those. There we go. And are we done yet? Are we nearly ready? What we got missing in the middle? One of those again. Forgot that. And a machine structure block in the middle there. I get 4 for my money there. That's good. And then crystallizer. Ba-da-bang. It's been like this for a little while. That I'm just progressing steadily and surely through the things. Quartz crucible would be the next thing, and that quartz crucible, yeah. And then on this one, we need a cutting machine. Yeah, so we can see what we need. Okay. So there's nothing duplication anymore. Cutting machine. Cutting machine. Cutting machine. Okay, we're generating enough steel to start working through this. There's one steel recipe that I actually like, which is that one. Steel gear recipe. The other steel gear recipes, this is a gear bursting, which is a bronze bit of stuff. Still needs the same amount of steel, really. And then there's this overblown, exaggerated, really difficult one because you've got so much steel there. There needs to be some kind of universal solution to that, because that is 1 piece of iron and 4 steel. Whereas the more expensive one, that is 4 steel still, but it's 4 bronze. Okay, so that's kind of cool. But then this one is one. This you make 3 for those 4. 3 makes 4, or 3 makes 2 of those. I can't remember. And then you've got those there and that there. That's quite a lot of steel to make that steel gear. So there's a lot more cost involved in the steel gears. So I'm kind of different. I got a difference of opinion whether to use the cheaty ones or use the harder ones. Because the harder ones are there, because the easy ones are there, to be honest. Because the easy ones are there, I feel like doing the easy ones. Because it's only going to take me a little bit longer to do the harder ones. So maybe the harder ones should just get removed. Or maybe it doesn't really matter because we literally don't mess with it. I got some nether brick fences. Awesome. Okay, so what was the other thing we got there? That one's now done. Oh no, I've got to do the quartz crucible for that one. And the cutting machine was on that one. Yes, okay. So next up, we'll go with the quartz crucible. Okay, I don't know about quartz crucible. Doing the thing, that's that one. Okay, well that shouldn't be too hard. In fact, I've even got one already. Awesome. So that should be that quest completed now. Oh no, because I've got to do the making of the silicon buoy as well. Okay, so we've done that up to that point. Now cutting wafers, a saw blade and an enhanced motor. You see how easy I'm getting through things. It's not too difficult. I probably should just leave you to come back in a little while. Iron saw blade's the interesting thing there. I've got almost everything except for the iron plate there. So let's make another iron plate. No, I've got to get the right one there. There we go. Make some iron plates. Make some 10 iron plates. There we go. And then this saw blade thing is an iron rod with iron plates around it. Okay. Well, that was easy enough. Job's a good one. Saw blade done. And then we also needed a more advanced motor, which is the green one. And this is going to... titanium. This is going to be a bit more difficult, isn't it? How do we make titanium? Interesting stuff. Now, look. How do you make titanium? In an arc furnace, titanium dust. There's a rutile ore. Smelting. Arc furnace. Furnace. Okay, there's nothing. There's this titanium dust, which is this rutile ore. How do we get that? We get that through nether gravel and compressed nether gravel. So nether gravel is the only thing we can get that from. Okay. Interesting. How do we make nether gravel? We make nether gravel by compacting, well, smashing up netherrack into nether gravel. That's not too hard then, is it? Alright, so I need to do a little bit of that. Possibly not too much, I don't know. We'll just grab a stack of this. And I really want to automate this little section as well now, where I do get in my my netherrack production made, and potentially even making obsidian this way as well. So simply smash, 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 make gravel. We can do that automated as well. And then ego, let's have you doing this instead now. And can I get a mesh? Oh, it's still got 1 silk mesh left in the system. I would use a heavy mesh, but we've got 1 silk mesh left in the system. We may as well use it, and that's going to run out of power very, very quickly. So you can now go over here, and we'll change you around as well. So all these little bits and pieces that I'm just doing just to work towards. I just thought I'd show you what's going on before coming back with creating all the things and making all the stuff. Unlucky. I guess I'm going to need to set up a production line to make this nether rack, nether gravel, nether sieved into broken ores a thing. I do need to redo the whole factory front side, really. That whole section needs to be redone. I need to pull it all out and start again. It's all kind of the same thing. It's all going to be kind of the same thing. Except this was my like original basic. And I really wanted to keep it kind of just out of posterity. Like keep the old machine and then build a new one. Maybe I should build a new one first. But I'd like to also use the parts. I'd like to use the parts. That's the thing. And I feel like we should have some kind of power supply in here, so I might need to do some kind of, well, I guess doing a turbine in here is what I'm after. Get a start by just making a turbine up here somewhere. Maybe a turbine up in the rafters would look cool, so when you look up you see a turbine up there. It's not a very practical solution in a factory, is it? It's not a very practical looking place in a factory, having a turbine in there. Maybe the turbine in the window over here would be cool. Don't know if there's enough space. Probably not. But anyway, I will slowly but surely come round to the idea that that needs breaking down. And remoulding and recreating. So I will be looking down in the comments below and seeing who my regular commenters are. And they will be operating sieves in the new factory. I will find many name tags and sort that out. I have been finding name tags in temples, and I can do more exploring and more temples and more bits and pieces. But I think we need to applied energistics the factory a little bit more. I mean, once the recipe gets fixed for this, then we'll be able to use this for some things. And right now, though, we're going to just test out what the other things look like. So let's see. We've got all of these different things here that the projector can help me make. The ones we've just started on, though, was the lathe, for instance. Set up the lathe and see how big the lathe is. It is not that big at all, really. So can I set it up here? There. Okay. Is that all that really is to it? Okay. Well, I might change these around a little bit. We've got an output hatch and an input plug. And then machine structures. Okay. And then it goes up slightly. And then we put that on. Okay, so it's not that big a deal. Okay. So if that's the output hatch and that's the input hatch, then we'll probably come round this way instead, right? And it's 4 wide, and this sticks out 4, so we'll go here. 1. Let's get rid of this section. 2, 3, 4. That's how we can do that bit. And or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe one more out. Because I need to use the space up for stuff, don't I? I need to use the space, so I may as well. Or I could go with having it across in front a little bit more, because we're not going to have a lot of stuff out here. So let's have a lathe in front here. I'm going to start laying it out. This is kind of needs to be left open walkway. I could put the lathes down the middle here. There's something interesting. Put the kind of the advanced rocketry machinery stuff over here. That looks like it is. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 machine structure blocks. Output hatch, input power hatch, there. And then 2 machine structure boxes. Is that what these are? Machine structures? It does say they are. So, in theory, yes, it should be. This goes up. And then we've got the lathe itself. The lathe. This better look cool, isn't it? This better look cool. This has got to be a cool thing. The advanced motor, which is that one. It's taken a long time. I better do something. And the input hatch. Okay, so we've got the input and the output at the end there, and the power in here. Awesome. It's actually fully formed. Oh, look at that! Yes, it does look the ball. Yes, I like. It goes down a little bit more as well. There's more to it, obviously, so I need to bring that back. I need to bring that up. If I'm going to have a factory, then I need the lathe to be sitting on a block or 2. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yes, I like. Alright, so the input's going to be the power input's down here. It's going to be, that's the controller, gets power, and then I can turn it on and off. Yeah, and then I've got to put in stuff and output stuff from there. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Yes, I like. So what's the rolling machine going to look like? Let's have a look, see what the rolling machine's going to look like. No, not that. I want this. Cutting machine. I've got the cutting machine, but it's the rolling machine that we need to work on next. There we go. Rolling machine. Let's see. I think I'm just going to build it right here. So what have we got going in? Power input, fluid input patch. I think I had a fluid input. Yes, I did. That's what we got asked to make. Structure blocks, output hatch. There's an output hatch. Don't necessarily have everything here. 2 output hatches. Okay. 2 output hatches and 2 structure blocks. That's a structure block. That's a structure block. Let's just put some light on it for now. Titanium coils, or any coils. Okay, any coils. That's another machine. It's the advanced motor. Is that any motor? That's any motor there. Okay, that's cool. Power input plug. I need another power input plug there, and another machine structure block. Okay, so I need another output hatch, which I don't have. And then I need some more machine bits, some coils, and another power input. Okay, I can get those. Okay, another output hatch, and then 2 coils. I made aluminium coils because it looks like it could be any coil, so why not? Have a go, eh? Why not? And then we've got to go up a level. Which now, what do I need? I need 2 more machine structure blocks. What? I like the discovery part of all this. I like finding new things out. Rolling machine itself goes on there. Okay. And then I need an input hatch. 2 input hatches. Well, I happen to have quite a few input hatches. This is good. 2 input hatches. And then what? Is that it? Is that it? That's it. That's everything. Okay, good. So now click it with my hand. Boom. And it turns into awesomeness. Look at that. That's pretty cool looking as well. Wow, they know how to make a machine look. That's pretty awesome looking. I'm looking forward to having my factory with all these different machines and stuff on. It's looking cool. I do think I need to have something going on upstairs now, though. I might need to have a platform up above with these machine type stuff going on up there that can be doing bits and pieces and sending things down through the factory, and have the big bulky buildings along the bottom, and have these kind of cool machines all stacked up there slightly. That'd look cool. What we got then? So we got power going in, simple enough, and once it's got power going in, it's just going to roll metals. We can input from somewhere. We could put like steel in and input, and then H2O. We've got to put some fluid in. We got to put fluid in? I don't know. We'll find out how to use them all later. But how cool do they look? They look pretty cool. I like a lot. I like this mod a lot. I like the attention to detail. I think it looks like it's going to work really well with the immersive engineering feel. I'm not so sure about this arc furnace though. Maybe the only thing in the entire mod that actually requires a bit of a attention to detail update like these. Why doesn't that turn into something awesome like that? I don't know. The other thing that we had to do, let's see, we've got to actually use these lathes and rolling machines to create something. No, create something. No, it's this one that we've got to use to create something. Silicon boule, boule. So we've got to make this crystallizer. Okay, so that's the next thing. The crystallizer. Let's see how much space it's going to take. Doesn't look like it's going to take up much space. Let's go back one then. No, that's not where I wanted to go. Back one, I said. Back one there. That'll do. Okay, so what do we got here? Input hatch, output hatch, crystallizer itself. Is that going to be all there is to it today? Be lucky. Be lucky. Be all there is to it. Input hatch. That's the output. That's the input hatch. Output hatch. And then a coil of some kind and a power of some kind. Well, I've got another power plug. And then 2 coils and an output hatch. Unfortunately, I don't have another output hatch on me. Let's see. Is there any more levels to it? Yes, there is. Then there's the crucibles. So I need 6 crucibles as well after that. And then that's it. Okay. So an output hatch, 2 coils, and 6 crucibles coming right up. Okay. So how does this look? Well, it doesn't change everything. It did change a fair bit. And that bit on the top looks really cool. This top bit looks cool. The input and output didn't quite change the same as the inputs and outputs over here, though. But still, not complaining, not complaining. It's still a nice little upgrade. I'm just deciding now where things are going to fit to make them look good. See, now I've got them assembled, I can see what they're going to look like. It's half the battle in knowing where to put them. There's sometimes you need to put things in a practical location, and sometimes you just want to put things in a location. You just want to get it over and done with. What the crud is this? There's power, there's an output, there's an input. I've got the coils at the back, and I just need to put some power in it. Let's take this and stick that on the back of it. There we go. Now it's got power. Yes, and then what do we put in it? What's going to be the input to make silicon? Let's see what silicon requires. Silicon wafer, silicon boo, silicon ingot in a crafter. Smelt silicon dust. You put sand in an arc furnace to make silicon. Don't know if that recipe's even there. So let's see if that recipe actually does work. We've got some power in it already. I've just come all the way over here for sand when I know I've just got a warehouse full of sand over there. Let's just take a stack of sand and see if the arc furnace actually makes this into it for us, like it should do, maybe. Okay, let's see. So you have some sand. It is using the sand recipe, so it is doing something in there, isn't it? No. Okay. I thought for it tried. It tried and then goes, no, there's no recipe for this. So we've got to work on it another way. Silicon, this, to make that, we need a nugget and an ingot in the crystallizer. The nuggets could be done in smelting that. There's just smelting recipes. So smelting dust means I've got to do an ingot through a crusher. An ingot through a... What? Really? There's literally... The only way I can make silicon ingots is through the arc furnace. Unless I'm doing the dust. Oh, we just came to a big drawback here. With the arc furnace currently not working with the right recipes, with the recipes currently not working, we've got a struggle on our hands to make the original silicon in order to do anything else. So, yeah, okay. So there's not a lot I can do with this. I can just use them to make them look pretty, but until the update where they fix the recipes on the arc furnace, until then, I can't really do any making of stuff. It all looks cool, though. I like it. I can move it somewhere. I can think about where on the platforms I want to put it. I can think about where in this area I want those things to be. And meanwhile, I can get on with moving this stuff around. So that'll have to be it for today's episode, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode very soon. Hope you did enjoy. Hope you've figured something out, learned something. And I hope that you leave lots of comments down below. I will see you in the next episode of Forever Stranded with Nemsun. And goodbye.